Hey, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a continuation to the previous video where we have discussed the selection statement if. In this video we'll continue with the remaining two selection statements, that is if else and if elif else. Let's start with the video. Let us start with if else. Here if else in the sense, if the first block of statement doesn't get executed, then we have an alternative which we specify in the else block. Let us see how to implement if else in the case of Python. Let us continue with the same example. Here we are going to check if a is less than or equal to 10, then it is gonna print the value of a, and if a is not less than or equal to 10, we are going to print some other statements. Let's say we are going to print the value of a here, and we are going to modify the value of a as 11. Now that we have the statements for if block, let's move on in defining the else block. And if we hit enter after the print statement, we can see that the cursor is still in the if block, but we can't define the else block inside a if block. So we need to end the if block and come out of the if block to define the else block. To do that, we are going to simply remove the indentation space, so the if block gets ended till the print statement, and we are going to type the else and followed by that colon. And if we hit enter, we can see that an indentation space is given automatically by the IDE, which specifies that else block is started. Here let's say we are going to print a string, let's say hello. Let us see the condition. A is less than or equal to 10. The value of a is 11 here, which in this case the condition gets failed, so this particular piece of code doesn't get executed, so it goes into else block and prints hello. Let's try to execute it, and we can see that hello gets printed on the screen. Since the condition fails, so automatically else block gets executed. This is how we implement if else in Python. Let us move on to the next selection statement in our category, which is if, elif and else. If, elif and else is nothing but if in the else block, if we try to check one more condition, let's say in the else block we are going to check one more condition, like if a is equal to 11, then we are going to execute a piece of code. In this case, we can combine this else with if with elif, that is a keyword in Python, to simply replace this two line of code into a single line of code. Let us see that with example. Here I am going to remove the entire code, and instead of else we are going to specify elif, and followed by that we need to again specify the test condition, that is the condition we need to check. Let's say in this case we are going to check if the value of a is equal to 11, then we are going to specify another statement. Let's say welcome, and like how we specified an alternative for the else block, similarly in this case we have checked an if condition, so we can also specify an else for this if condition. Like how we specified the else for the if condition in the previous example, similar manner we are going to specify the else for this if condition by simply removing the indentation space and placing the else keyword, and we can write the piece of code that needs to be executed when the two conditions fails. Let's say we are going to print something like any string. Let's try to execute. In this case it should print welcome, and you can see that welcome gets printed on the screen since the first condition fails, and it checks the next condition where a is equal to 11. Yes, the condition gets true, and it prints this statement and simply ignores this block. Let us try to modify the value of a as 12. In this case, it must print the value PCPY. Let's try to execute the code and we can see that the value PCPY gets printed since neither of the conditions gets evaluated to be true, so by default the else block gets executed. This is how we implement if, elif, else. A condition followed by another condition, and if both conditions fails, the final else block get executed. That's about the selection control statements. Apart from these examples, you can try on your own examples. That's all for this video. In the next video, I'm going to explain about the next control flow statement, which is the iterative control or loop control statements in Python. Thanks for watching the video. Get subscribed and I will continue in the next video.